Hi, everyone. My name is Sonia Castro. I'm here today with Victor and Long. We are going to talk about a co founder's journey of building a nonprofit to empower the cybersecurity community. But first, I wanted to introduce myself. I have been a part of Virtual Testing Foundation since the beginning, though I am not a co founder. I've known these gentlemen for a very, very long time. I sit on the board of ShellCon, and I'm a very large advocate for the amazing work that's done here at VTF. I would like to introduce Victor. He has 21 years of experience in the cybersecurity industry. He's been directly overseeing a team of senior directors, and managers at the Virtually Testing Foundation. He holds an honorary role. He's very passionate about cybersecurity education and serves as a board member for many major cybersecurity communities such as ISECA, CSA, and Fuel. He's very committed to helping the cybersecurity community grow. He's been a keynote speaker at major conferences and even an adjunct professor. Victor holds over 70 cybersecurity industry certificates, including CISSP, CEH, and SANS. He has a strong educational background, including a degree in computer science, business administration, as well as legal training. Thank you so much, Victor, for being here. And now I'd love to introduce Long. Long is an impactful IT leader and an information security practitioner with over 23 years of hands on experience. In his current role as Director of IT Security and Infrastructure, he is responsible for leading a team of skilled professionals with reliable data center operations, comprehensive voice and data services, applied IT security, compliance and risk management, system designs and engineering, and setting a strategic vision for ongoing future business initiatives. Long advocates for information security literacy, promoting useful cyber practices and real world skill development through Virtual Testing Foundation. When not practicing cybersecurity, he enjoys being outdoors, snowboarding, and spending time with his family. Again, gentlemen, thank you very much and welcome.
Oh, thank you for helping us to actually share our story to the community. I know we get this question a lot, like how did we start? Why did we start? What is VTF? Where it's going? So thank you for helping us the get the word out to the community. And honestly, we are always eager to share the story of VTF, why we started, and this is a great opportunity and great platform to get it out there.
Well, great, Victor. Just as you had said, you want to get a little bit of the background of VTF out there. Just to let everybody watching know, the Virtual Testing Foundation is the world's first and largest open university, serving more than 30,000 members, students, and partners. VTF is based out of Los Angeles, California, but there are global members across the world. The VTF is 100% online and encourage flexible schedules for those that participate in the program. The mission is to offer security education, hands on experience, and personal branding at no cost at all to the participants. That's really amazing, guys, and I can't wait to hear more about it. So, I wanted each of you to share the story of VTF. Like, what can you recall from the day you thought that you needed to start this such amazing nonprofit organization?
Well, I think we were hungry and we were walking towards ramen to get some ramen. And Long and I have been mentoring people here and there who are trying to break into cybersecurity or just get some hands on. And we were really privileged. The company we worked for, we had access to world class technology, and we were provided a good education from employer as well. So we were able to access good education, career development, and hands on. So we were all good, but not everybody was privileged like that. So Long and I had been helping like here and there, two or three folks every year. And on the way to ramen once, we asked each other that, hey, how do we scale this? That this is not scalable what we are doing. Like 5 people per year, great, we are making an impact. And yes, those 5 people are really thankful that what we are doing, but this is not sustainable. Eventually, we're gonna try to make this more. We're going to try to make this scalable. And that was and my understanding, at least, and I'm going to hear from Long as well. That is my understanding. That was a catalyst to the conversation that this is beyond Victor and Long. This is beyond two people. This has to be something, a self sustained, well oiled organization. And honestly, we didn't know it's going to be non-profit or profitable or a company or LLC. We just didn't know. And that was the catalyst. We started researching like what it should be. So we wrote down what we want, and then we kind of backtrack from there what we need to do to make it happen.
Right, and Victor's absolutely right. In the early days, Victor and I were very fortunate to get world class exposure into cybersecurity tooling, and that we didn't think a lot of people were afforded the same opportunities, and we knew and we recognized that there was a need for accessible and affordable cybersecurity education support. When I say affordable, the entry level for most folks it would be free or as close to free as possible, and we knew that if we can pull this type of education down to a level where the entry level was not a barrier anymore, that a community can be grown out of it. So a lot of individuals are interested in pursuing careers either in directly in cybersecurity or just cybersecurity adjacent. And these could be managers, students who are breaking into their careers for the first time or just want to advance their careers. We saw that in our own journey. So we think everyone should have access to high quality cybersecurity education and support, regardless of their background, regardless of their financial situation. So those early ideas ultimately resulted in Virtually Testing Foundation. You know, Wanting to provide high quality cybersecurity education and career support for individuals.
No, I was going to say that's really awesome. That would actually bring me to my next point. How, because you dreamed of something so small and you scaled it to be so large, how is this sustainable at having this be no cost for the individuals that are attending your university?
Well, don't get us wrong. Initially, when we were thinking about it, we were thinking about how do we make this as profitable for us. I mean, yes, the intent was we want to do it for community, but it didn't start from just like having it for free. We came to that conclusion after iteration of decisions. And personally, honestly, I started getting good visibility where, let's say, the five people I mentored, they now go talk to different people and they're like, oh, go talk to Victor. He's going to help you out. And that personal branding is starting to, I started enjoying it, honestly. So we thought, how do we scale this? First was, let's start a company where we provide trainings. And like, everybody's doing that. Then why do we have to do it? There are good companies who are providing trainings. Then we were like, okay, let's provide just a hands-on lab experiences, but that's still not enough. So we started actually looking, we did our own research that is there a company, is there an organization who's providing cybersecurity education, then hands-on experience, and then along the way, develop people's career. And we came up with the conclusion there is none. There is no profitable company, there is no training institute, there's no college, university who provides those three things together. Either you go to a school and college and you get a theoretical education, formal education, or you go take a boot camp and you pay $7,000 and you get hands on. Or you go work for a company as an intern where you fetch their coffee or laundry or sure, maybe work on some Excel or the odd job that nobody wants to do it. But I can walk up to a company, let's say Microsoft, and tell them, like, hey, I want to be a manager, give me experience. They're gonna laugh me out of their room because that's not companies do. For a student to gain confidence, for someone who's actually trying to advance their career, they need work to prove they are capable and enhance their skills. If I'm not given an opportunity, how can I put on my resume that I know how to do it? Is that catch 22 we all have been a victim of? So sustainable and scalable was something that, again, we wanted to make this beyond Victor and Long. And throughout the decision iterations, throughout the cycle we went through, we came up to the decision that it has to be something non-profit. So money is not the motivation for everybody because that always complicates things. And it has to be something self-sustained. We have our day jobs as well. And at the same time, we want people to take an opportunity to run VTF as their own company, as their own organization. Not everybody is lucky enough to just walk up to a company and say, I want to run your company. And they'll be like, no. At VTF, people get that opportunity to run VTF as their own. And that is something is unique in its own way. That is something that is self-sustainable and scalable. So if I have 100 people, I can provide community service or all the offerings we are doing for 10,000 people. Well, tomorrow, if I need to serve 100,000, I just multiply that. It's that factor. Community driven volunteer services, people who have graduated from VTF are running VTF to help others. That is the cycle, if you think about it. It's just going to keep going. That is scalable and sustainable in its own definition. Long, your opinion.
That's right. 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 It has a multiplying effect, and that's the primary driver of our sustainability. It's just our awesome community.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, this is all volunteer based, and the volunteers, in a sense, pay it forward. So, or pay it back so that they go through the organization and then come back and re-volunteer to help the next generation that's going through the process. Great. So, Long, tell me a little bit about how the volunteers manage the foundation.
Yeah, so we really have amazing volunteers, right? Our volunteers, they themselves have gone through the program that we offer at VDF. They themselves gain valuable experience. They're able to network with other like-minded individuals, and they're able to skill up themselves. And when you do that, volunteers are now able to understand what drives the mission of the organization, what drives the mission of the foundation, and they feel it. They really believe in it because we've put such a resourceful. We've put good resources out there to really help people skill up. When they do that, they really feel it. They want to pay back to the foundation. Um, Helping people with career development also allows them to tap into a growing market where that type of skill is needed, and the cycle returns back to the foundation by managing the education aspects of it, the business aspect of it. It's been a wonderful experience to watch the foundation grow.
5 to 10% people come back. And that is a volume that, if you think about it, if we are actually training people, 50,000 people every year, imagine 10% of that is a lot of people.
That's amazing, gentlemen. What were some of the critical building blocks during the early days, and what do you feel is driving the foundation today?
I'll take this one first and then I'll pass it on to Long. Building blocks were, everybody said no. We heard lots of no, big no's from everyone and anyone. We actually try to explain this and they're like, what? What exactly are you guys trying to do? They're like, how are you running these operations? Who's paying for it? And what exactly are you trying to do? Like, are you providing training? Are you providing official certificate? Are you providing official hands-on labs? Like, what exactly are you trying to do? Like, experience is not something that you go get it at Walmart. Experience is not something you can put in an e-card from Amazon. You have to do it. You have to go through the experience in order to gain the skill and gain the confidence. We recently got 1,700 testimonials in 2022. 1,700 testimonials that going through VTF programs have actually not only helped them understand the market, the professional, pretty much professional skills, but that soft skills people have been talking about, that everybody should get soft skills before they go work for a company or start their company. Nobody provides actually how to gain soft skills by going through YouTube videos or even formal trainings. Doesn't necessarily actually gives you soft skills. You have to make mistakes, and there is no place in the world right now who lets you make mistakes. VTF is that safe space that lets you make mistakes. And the whole premises of VTF is that there's nothing to lose here. Even if you make mistake, that is all right. That is the whole point. You make mistakes. So at the end of the day, I think the building blocks were really challenging for us to explain what we're trying to do in it, because this is so unique in its own way, and people are having hard time because either they're boxed into their traditional thinking, or they just not, they cannot fathom the fact that an organization can do something like this and people can get behind it. Everybody wants something out of it, right? So you go talk to a partner, they're like, okay, even if we give you our free licenses, what do we get in return? You go talk to a company that, hey, if you have additional hardware, that can you donate to VTF? And they're like, what exactly are you trying to do? If you go talk to large foundations who provide support, financial support, they're like, exactly, what are you trying to do? Are you educational institute? Are you nonprofit? Are you vocational? Are you career development? Are you workforce development? Are you associated with the government? What exactly are you trying to do was the biggest question. And now, every year, we have partners filling out our application, and then we go through vetting process to actually approve those. We have gone from hearing no every day, every hour, to actually selecting partners. Building blocks were that, earning the trust from our partners, and then amplifying that trust to the community by doing the valuable work and positive work that we are doing. That was the building blocks.
That's great. Long, can you elaborate on what you believe is driving the foundation today?
Like Victor said, in the early days, when the foundation was just formed, um, there's a lot of thinking behind what would be the growth engine behind this. What ultimately would attract the community to this foundation? So because we knew that there was a gap in the type of organization that provides what we wanted to provide with VTF. So what would be that growth engine? And we decided that uh, for this to grow and scale, there's got to be a community, and the community servicing itself is the way to grow this. So we focused on that a lot, a lot of energy went into that. Where uh, last count, I think we're at about 50,000 members and growing. Um, that number was zero, not too long ago, and I think that speaks to the community really believing and adopting what VTF is about. And it's simple. Our mission is just to educate and help people transition into sustainable careers, whether they decide to do cybersecurity, which is what we founded ourselves on, um, or to be adjacent to cybersecurity, or simply to advance their careers by learning something new. We Today we continue to drive that. We continue to drive that commitment by providing just high quality education, high quality career development, staying nonprofit, staying true to ourselves, and that is what helps us continue to drive this, continue to make good decisions for the community, and it's been working. We want to continue to drive it forward.
I'll share early on. I used to send screenshots to Long when we used to start getting membership. So it used to be 12, and then 13, and then 14. Like every day we would get one or two. And I used to get so excited. First thing in the morning, I used to send screenshots to Long. Look, we have 14 members. And then eventually it started getting to a point where we started getting thousands. And then he would be like, dude, just cut it out. We got it. People trust us now. You don't need to send me screenshots every morning that we're getting members. One story I'll share, where Long and I went on lunch with this partner, and I won't name the name, obviously. We try to explain what VTF is trying to do and try to get their help. And after the lunch, the guy actually just kind of looked down and look up to us, and he's like, "What exactly are you trying to do? Like, do you just need money? Is that it?" And they're like, "Is this like a little league that you guys are starting, or is this like a just another like a hacker summer camp you guys trying to start? Again, people were not understanding what we're trying to do. And another success story last year, um, we had a member come up to us and said, "Hey, I'm a single mom and I would like to pursue my career in HR. And I know VTF is all about cybersecurity. Is there anything about HR?" And that's what Long said about cybersecurity and adjacent careers. In order to run an organization, you also need an HR. So we're like, hey, this is a great opportunity to create a career path for HR. And now we have HR people who wants to pursue. Imagine a person learning about human resources at school, at college, at university, but never had any interview experience, never had experience to fire someone, never had conflict management. If they can get all of that before they start a job, imagine the confidence level they will get. So that is success stories that we got at VTF. And the biggest one was I was attending a boot camp at VTF, and someone actually sent me a message in Slack, and they thought I'm attending as participant, and they're like, "Hey, which group are you on?" And I was not part of any group. I was just there to facilitate. That was kind of the big moment when people have asked me and didn't associate VTF with me or Long. VTF became its own entity. That was almost like a kid growing up, and then we just see it fly. Like someone asking me that, "Hey, are you part of VTF? Which group are you on?" I mean, that's a proud moment for us because people are not associating us with that success. They're associating VTF because that is community success, not our success.
Well, I remember when this was just a concept, Victor, and talking to you about this many, many years ago. So it's really amazing to see the work that you and Long have done and how quickly this has grown. One of the avenues that I have noticed that it's grown so quickly has been through social media. As a person who is on a lot of social media platforms, particularly on LinkedIn. I've seen so many people sharing their stories about VTF. People have even connected with me due to my affiliation with VTF. How are you managing that growth and how rapidly you're growing on social media?
Um, well, first of all, we're absolutely thrilled and just flabbergasted with the response on social media. We've been in this journey for a long time, and Victor and I remember when social media views were in the single digits, but we believed in it and continue to drive this forward. The foundation, it invests a lot of intellectual capital into the community and the learning program it provides. The community consists of people from a broad spectrum. You would think that this community is simply all cybersecurity oriented. It's a wide swath of different professions that are in this community that makes this a great community. Um, so this spectrum drives the community forward, gives it the diversity that it needs, and it creates this contagious energy. Um, VTF engages with social media followers by responding to comments, sharing relevant content, participating in the online discussions. We also use analytics to track growth, engagement, and that provides us insights on what resonates with the audience, so that we can continue to do that and figure out the strategies that work best. So that it lets us make smart, data driven decisions about managing our presence on social media.
I love it. From your perspective, Victor, how do you feel that social media has played into VTF?
So I'll start with actually sharing a story because that's this whole conversation is about sharing story where we built VTF. We didn't have a social media presence to begin with. We had a handle Virtue Testing Foundation, but we were not posting a whole lot. We were not posting again. We were not posting a whole lot. And I met this gentleman in San Francisco, and I was talking to him about VTF, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys should invest into LinkedIn credits, and they'll give you blah blah impressions, and they'll give you these clicks and advertisement target and all that." And like, sure, get us a code. And when the code came up, and it was $52,000 for 100,000 click-throughs and whatever they gave me. And I called Long, and he's like, "Are you serious? 52,000?" He's like, "We should, if we had the money, actually start a scholarship and put a kid to the college." And that was again the catalyst. We thought that if people are looking for us, this is modern day and age, website, static content, it's all good and relevant, but people want information fast. People want to start their utility from social media. They want to tag like LADWP, please start my connection. Over there, like, hey, at Amazon.com, I have ordered this, I got it wrong. People are communicating over social media. People are getting information on social media. And then we thought we are not serving the community right if we don't do it. We don't want to pay for it, obviously. We want to do organic growth. We don't want to pay for it. But at the same time, we do want to engage with the community. And the most important driver was when we actually sat down with someone from human resources who helped us kind of form the strategy, how we should provide tips and tricks for career development. And she said a lot of hiring is happening on LinkedIn these days. She said the first thing we look at is if the person has a good LinkedIn profile. And that was it. That was like, if we are providing tips and tricks to our members for career development, we should have our own game straight as well. So from there, we built our social media presence along with, when members join, we give them a whole workshop of how to update your LinkedIn headshot, about me, experience. And in experience, when they put Virtue Testing Foundation now, they are proud to add it because Virtue Testing Foundation is very engaged on social media. So they're proud to actually add it in their experience versus what it was, one post, which is really horrible looking. I think sticky notes and something. I remember the first post. So again, all of the social media strategy is again to help and serve the community and get the information faster to them. People don't have time to check out our website, but people do get their posts and scroll through the thumbs where they see that there's a new bootcamp starting, there's a new webinar coming up. They get the information faster, which is our goal at the end of the day. If you're creating a content, they should hear about it faster, quicker, and absorb that content.
Well, your social media team is doing a great job. I'm constantly seeing amazing posts coming out from VTF. So kudos to all of them.
Let me congratulate Long, the whole team. Congratulations. Let me give kudos to the whole team. Long kudos.
Long, are you the primary source of all the source of all social media?
I I cannot, in good conscience, accept that, but the team does do a wonderful job engaging with the community, and I keep going back to that because VTF is all about having a volunteer-driven community that sustains VTF itself, and without the volunteers doing what they do day in and day out, VTF would not be as successful and prominent as it is today. Kudos to the community.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. So you have so much community engagement. I would love to also know at the core of VTF, what would you gentlemen consider to be the core principle to those that are involved within the organization, and for those that are considering to join and to run VTF in the future?
I think principles are always going to be aligned back to our mission. We're not deviating from it. Why we founded this were three critical foundations, if you will, the pillars. One, community driven, partnership, and governance, that stability. We don't want to make this too much. Let's put it this way. If it's community and volunteer driven, doesn't mean it is literally doing whatever they want. It still has to follow a structure. That's where board of directors provide governance. So again, three pillars mapping back to mission statement. One, community volunteer driven, self-sustained, this well-oiled machine where every cohort gets value out of it. 5 to 10% people remain with VTF to run VTF to help the next cohort. And again, we're dealing with volume here. So when 5% of 50,000 people, still a lot of people for us to actually help us out and run VTF. Second, partnerships. That's one thing we have learned from the beginning. And as I was giving you the story about talking to different partners, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. That would be stupid. The goal for us to actually provide something which is not here, which nobody is providing, which is this combination of cybersecurity education, career development, and that experience of, and the comfort of, and the confidence of that whatever you feel that you want to innovate, whatever you feel you want to advance your skill, VTF is a safe space. In order to do that, we do partnerships with large tech companies, name it Palo Alto, VMware, TryHackMe, Splunk, Attack IQ. We have built so many successful partnerships where they are offering their either services, education portal, licenses, and sometimes monetary support as well, financial support as well, that they believe in this mission now. That's our Tech Alliance partnership, but we're also partnering with our education partners, such as colleges, universities across the globe, not just United States, so that when a student is going through their formal education, they also get to know about this organization. And if they feel like, they should actually come in and get hands-on experience, career development, career path in a form of internship that is supported by their university, college, school. And finally, the third, governance. We have board of directors. Every year we have election. We form board of directors who are providing governance to this organization so that A, we're not doing anything illegal. The last thing we want is for volunteers not knowing and making mistakes and doing something illegal. Second, keeping that structure, the spirit of the organization. Everyone has innovative ideas. Everybody come up with these amazing ideas, and we want to welcome all uniqueness. We want to include all the diversity, not at the cost of stripping away original intent of VTF. That's where the third pillar of governance comes in. So these three pillars are really helpful for VTF to stay sustainable, scalable, and well-oiled machine, and it just keeps going.
That's right. And I want to add on to that. That torch that people really feel is that trifecta that Victor really spoke of. Is community, partnerships. Uh, I think especially with our academic partnerships, that's really propelled new members, students into gaining the necessary experience, and that that resonates with them. That embeds a skill set within an individual that I think will stay with them for a long time, and in turn, give them an overwhelming feeling that returning back to the community is absolutely the right thing to do for a percentage of our members. We certainly want them to feel that way to give back. That's that's the torch. The roadmap that's laid out, executing on that at a very high level, setting up the foundation so that it's successful, so that it's run in an organized fashion, so that the community and the membership is getting value out of it. That's very powerful. That is how we pass this really important torch from cohort to cohort, from old to new, and the cycle continues.
I love it. Even though that you're at VTF providing everything to ensure the success of your members, and you're providing it at no cost, do you ever fear that this could be taken away by any type of competitor that comes in? What are your thoughts, Long?
Well, competition is natural. I think if you look at what we are doing, we're very unique in this space in that what we provide and the manner in which we provide it, I think we execute at a very high level. But competition is a natural component of any industry or market. And to us, it's an opportunity. It can be a catalyst for us to innovate, to grow, to look at what else is occurring within the same space that we're operating in. and that gives us something to look at. But we want to stay informed about the landscape and not ignore it, but stay informed about what the competitive landscape looks like. We want to keep a pulse on trends that are emerging, academic trends, professional trends, industry trends that are emerging, so that we can incorporate that into our program, our whether it's our education, our career advancement programs, our student learning programs. We want to incorporate these upcoming trends in. And I think that's how we stay relevant, by identifying these opportunities, adapting it, incorporating it into what we're already doing. It allows us to continue to build this resilient brand that that continues to gain momentum through social media, through peers, word of mouth. This builds our reputation. We align our mission. We believe in our mission. We build this reputation, and we deliver this commitment back to our members by doing everything in a very high quality way. And ultimately, that allows us to maintain our position as a leader in this space. And so when we think about competition, we pay attention to them, but we pay attention to our community, and if we keep doing what we're doing, I think we're going to be in great shape.
Awesome. That begs the question, since you're talking about maintaining this for your community, who would you consider to be VTF's target audience?
I could take that one. Original intent and spirit is anyone and everyone. We don't want to turn anyone away. This is one place where if it fits your need, you can commit to the time, you have the minimum requirements, you're more than welcome. When it comes to target audience, a lot of time when we talk about target audiences for companies, when they're selling their products or services, they do researches, and they're like, okay, this product fits for this demographic and all that. Honestly, our demographic, last time we checked, 70% are students, either who are enrolled in some sort of college, school, or even high school, and 20% are those who are advancing their career. It could be in IT or non IT. 5% veterans who are transitioning from their service life to civilian life, and they want to break into some sort of career. And cybersecurity is great because they have that mindset. They come from well-disciplined career, and cybersecurity just makes obvious choice for them. And last 5%, honestly, you'll be surprised. I had a candidate member, 62 years old last year, and he applied for a career path for cybersecurity, and we obviously welcome him. And we when we started going through the onboarding, I asked him a question. I was like, why? What do you think? Like, you're retired at this point. You don't want to go back to workforce, but why? He's like, curiosity. I want to know what cybersecurity professionals do. We would have never thought of that demographic in at VTF, but yet here we are. So we again have a policy: anyone, everyone who can commit time. That is our minimum requirement. The last thing we want is people coming in with the minimum to no motivation, and they are here either for a certificate, or they're here for just to put on their LinkedIn that they work here, or even other reasons. Our goal is to actually prepare them for the workforce, develop their career, and enhance their skills that they have never imagined it could be enhanced because they were always boxed in. I always have a joke when we get on all hands meeting every month. At VTF, we have no boxes. The traditional hierarchy, we don't have it. We support each other. That is the hierarchy. Board of directors govern the VTF and provide us the structure. But when it comes to that typical traditional organizational hierarchy, at VTF, we support each other. And that's where, honestly, who is the target audience? Anyone and everyone who can commit time, who fits these program, who see these programs fit into their schedule and their curriculum, who can take benefit out of it. We are doing it for the community. So we have no reasons to turn anyone away, other than if they are not committing the time or if they don't have motivation anymore, then obviously that's a conversation that we got to have with them.
So then, from what I'm understanding, you're talking about the community. Is VTF only for those who are in cybersecurity?
So while we started in the early days with a focus on cybersecurity, we believe we had to focus on something to make it as high quality as possible. VTF has really come a long way and expanded its scope within as far as what it provides. VTF welcomes anyone interested to learn more about cybersecurity or even cybersecurity adjacent topics. Um, and this is regardless of prior experience or education. There's a wide range of educational resources, courses, webinars, training programs, and it's all really designed to help people skill up. We want the community to skill up. This is one of the most valuable parts of what VTF does, is to provide that service to the community. Um, it's a supportive community with individuals who are like-minded, individuals who are just breaking in for the first time, but the passion's all the same. Really, to learn a new topic, to learn something new, to skill up somewhere, to develop themselves further. We offer networking, mentorship, collaborations, partnerships with academia, partnerships with technology companies, opportunities for people to get hands-on and learn. So there's there is a there is an overarching focus on cybersecurity, but education and career development in adjacent fields, it's wide open. VTF welcomes all interested in and intellectual minds to come in and join.
Love it. Victor, what do you think? Do you think that VTF is primarily focused towards a cybersecurity field? Or I know you had mentioned HR. What are some other industries that might be interested in utilizing VTF services?
Look, the original intent had always been helping people educate about cybersecurity. That was the original intent. Taking that walk towards Robin, when we thought about VTF, was how to help people transition into cybersecurity. That had always been our intent, and all the courses, the training partners, the education, the hands-on labs we provide, it is all cybersecurity. However, just like any other company, even though let's say you have a cybersecurity company, but you also need the supporting functions, HR, marketing, even management, people managers, people who work at VTF, let's say, and who are learning and getting education, they also need to be managed. They also need to have some sort of structure. Project manager is a great example. At VTF, we also go through multiple projects every year. We need project managers. Now, are they cybersecurity functions? Not really. HR person is going to be HR regardless if they are at VTF or if they are at Microsoft. The experience they're going to gain is almost similar, at, obviously, with the variation of the company size and skills. But at the end of the day, these supporting functions are almost immutable between the companies. And that is what VTF is also offering. So VTF provides cybersecurity education, but in order to run VTF, we have supporting functions just like any other company. For those who are struggling to get into those supporting functions, they can advance their career, develop their career, and most importantly, if they're struggling, they can actually put experience on their resume. They can actually avoid having some sort of a experience gap on their resume by working at VTF. And again, working means enhancing your skill, developing your career, advancing your career, what you have learned in a classroom. Now let's apply your principles and what you've learned in action. I keep going back to HR example. Imagine someone had gone through a formal education of HR, but they've never actually hired anyone. Interviewing someone is tough. The first time you interview someone, it's tough as an interviewee. More difficult part is conflict management. If two of your team members are having conflict, how do you manage that? Firing someone, as I said, people lose motivation, they don't show up on time. You need to let them go as well from VTF. So those roles are not cybersecurity. Having difficult conversation is not cybersecurity, but it is essential to become a manager, a team lead, HR person, people manager. So those are essential roles if someone wants to advance their career in those supporting functions beyond cybersecurity.
I love it. Well, it sounds like VTF is ever evolving. And I'm just curious, gentlemen, what are some of the next plans for VTF to help out the community?
Yeah, you know, we want to continue to relentlessly focus on our fundamentals, relentlessly focus on our core mission. Um, if we do that, we're always servicing the community to the standards that it was founded upon. We want to continue to expand our course offerings. Victor alluded to a lot of different courses that are outside the direct scope of cybersecurity. This is not even cybersecurity adjacent, but these are business function scopes that any organization needs in order to sustain itself. So more offerings like that. Partnerships are very important. We want to continue to build strong partnerships with academia, with technology partners, bring them into the fold, have them participate in our content, have them be visible in our content to continue this productive cycle that we're building towards. And all of our resources can become perishable. So we want to continue to enhance all the resources, skill up our people, stay true to our mission. We do those things. VTF will continue to service its community in the highest way possible.
Awesome. Victor, did you have anything you wanted to add in terms of how VTF plans on helping out the community further?
I think it's never going to be up to Long or I to decide the future of VTF. Honestly, it'd be doing a disservice to VTF's mission if we say this is what VTF is going to look like in 5, 10 years, because it's not ours. It's communities. If they tomorrow wake up and collectively decide that this is the direction VTF should take, and it's blessed by the governing body and it's all legal and everything, then VTF takes that direction. I'll give you a good example. We used to host internships twice a year until 2020. In 2021, VTF collectively, and again, the people who run VTF, not us, we are the governing body, but the people who run VTF decided that it's not enough for people who just can commit 4 days or 4 hours or 1 hour. We need programs to support different time commitments, flexible time commitments for different skill set. And the consequence of that conversation is now we have webinars for people who just want one-way cybersecurity education and get a certificate of participation. We have boot camps for people who want to commit 4 days of intensive cybersecurity education, hands-on labs, and all that. That becomes boot camp. For those who want to commit more, gain more, we have career paths. We have 7 career paths from a skill level to beginner to advanced, cloud security to network security to all other fundamental securities. And people get more than boot camp. They get one-on-one mentorship. They get team meetings. They get a real experience of working for a company and enhance their skills. So the direction we thought when we started VTF was, well, we're just going to give hands-on experience to people and provide career development and education. It had changed in 2021. Now in 2023, this is what we have. This is what we're going to continue based on what we hear from the people who are running VTF. 2025, they might decide, you know what, this is not enough. We want to do more. As long as it is, again, follow the governance part and it gets blessed by governors, it's going to continue evolving. So it's really not up to us what VTF is going to do. All we hear is that people who are running VTF has a good game plan, at least for next 12 to 24 months. They're going to continue strengthening the 3 things that they want to focus on that I just mentioned: webinar, bootcamp, career paths. And career paths are the internship, where we talk about always cohort. People come in, run VTF. Those are the career paths. That's what the game plan is right now. Come back in 2 years, maybe there will be a new game plan, and we will talk about that.
Well, gentlemen, as I'm wrapping this up, I do have to ask, how often do you meet to have strategy sessions over ramen to discuss VTF and other life choices?
There's a lot of ramen. I don't know about the strategy anymore. There's a lot of ramen though.
Yes, I would say as frequently as our appetite desires the ramen, we will meet to discuss strategy or meet to meet.
Well, I love that. I really want to thank both of you for spending the time with me today. I loved learning more about VTF than I had known before. It was such a great insight. And thank you both for being so candid with everyone. This is such an amazing organization, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. As we're wrapping up, is there any final messages that either one of you would like to share?
There is one thing that we didn't talk about, but I'll share it. When we were thinking about VTF, we thought about slogans. Every company has a slogan. So we thought about being catchy and witty, and we thought about having some sort of humor in it, but ultimately we decided on three words. And you'll see that on all over our VTF logo, VTF website, social media. Learn, test, share. And as simple as those three words sound today, I can tell you it took us more than 6 months to come up with those three words. And there were a lot of back and forth. And the reason we decided on those three words, which really captures the spirit of VTF and why, learn is the education part, where VTF provides education. Test is what hands-on experience and that career development part we strive upon. Share is the part where it captures the spirit of this is community volunteer driven organization that whatever people are learning today, they're going to try to spread it tomorrow for other community members. So learn, test, share is something that we spent again hours. I remember if you actually look at our text messages, we went through so many words to come up with some catchy slogan, but we agreed upon these three words because it really captured the mission and intent and what vision is for VTF.
And I would like to absolutely, and I would like to conclude by going back to the beginning, and the beginning is always our community. Thank you, the community of VTF, for believing in VTF, for driving VTF, for being the voice and the presence of VTF. Without the community, our amazing volunteers who are working hard to help drive VTF every single day, VTF would not be possible. So I want to thank everyone out there, 50,000 strong. We could not, VTF cannot do this without you. So thank you.
Well, that's amazing. I look forward to our next conversation when we get to say that you are 100,000 strong and the organization keeps growing. Again, thank you so much, gentlemen, and I wish everyone a very good day.